Start recording our meeting. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. So I've gone into Desk, and at any time you have any questions, if I'm not explaining something correctly, if I'm going, too fast, anything like that, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. I'm going to go ahead and pull Teams up on my phone. That way I have access to the chat if you want to type something in the chat, because I can't see it as I'm instructing, but that way I'll have it on my phone next to me as well. So the very first thing we want to do is go into mycbdesk.com. Now, I do know that there is a Realogy site that floats out there that people love to use. But for this sake, we definitely want to use mycbdesk.com. And then you want to go in and find the tab for Market Quest V2. And you'll see it's accurate and comprehensive MLS market share data. So this really gives us the ability to share things on social media, Instagram. You can format it for Twitter. You can format it for, I believe, stories, for Facebook. We know anything that fits on Instagram fits on Facebook. And also to share on our website. So again, you can take this data, you can add these images to your website. Again, just make sure that if you do that, you're going in frequently and updating them as well. So once we click through to Market Quest V2, you're going to see it's going to pop up. You're going to have this interface in the background. Now you can, you can edit that image background if you would like to. I have mine set to the house, and I believe that mine will show a little differently than yours, only because I am an employee. So I only have two different images. Let me turn my phone down. And that's why I only have the two images, because I am an employee. You should have several more, I believe, than I do. So you can select that. And again, that's just going to be that interface here when you log in to make it look nice. I have it set to 100% so I can see all four of these in one snapshot. And then here you'll see we have number one claims. Now it will give you some information about what these things are. You'll see here number one claims. You can find relevant number one claims using filters for geography, for the time period, and more. Easily share them via email, so you can email them to someone. Social media, other platforms, those kind of things. Market position. It shows the market share that's captured by each of the 5 major brokerages in a selected location within the MLS. So it does use, you'll see here, I do have Bright MLS connected. So you will have to have that connected. If it's not connected, reach out to your field marketing specialist, whether that's me or the FMS in your office. We can help you correct that. Sometimes it needs to be added in the background of your profile. Also market trends. So those are all the statistics about what the real estate market has been doing over the last 3 years. So sales, average sales price, etc. And then the market snapshot. I do see these quite frequently being shared by agents and offices alike. That's a monthly review of the top 5 stats in the real estate market. So we're going to start off with number one claims. I will preface this by saying sometimes it can be a little frustrating because we don't always have the number one claim, and that's to be expected. There's an ebb and flow in the real estate market. You'll see here as we go through, it's going to give us the locations via zip code. I can search over here on the side. So if I want to do, maybe I want to just say Towson, Maryland. Now I'm going to say Towson because Towson actually has several different zip codes. So I'm just going to go ahead and check Towson. And I want to see, do I want the total? Do I want the list side, the buy side? I'm just going to say total. Do I want units? Do I want volume? Do I want last year, last month, year to date? Do I want all prices? things of that nature. Am I looking for just the brokerage? Am I looking for the brand? Am I looking for the office? Things of that nature. And then I update, and here you can see I don't have any claims found. So I can change these as I want and go through and continue to update them, look at them. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily find something. If we are not number one in this area, it's not going to pop anything up. So sometimes it is a game of cat and mouse. Oh, here we go. So I've been fooling around with these little, with the different report filters on the side. And here you can see number one, claim search. So the Towson office itself was number one in all prices last quarter for units. So here I found something. I can go ahead and click on this. We can see that we are up 5 units over all of the other brokerages, offices, things of that nature in that area. So Coldwell Banker is number one in Towson, Maryland. So this is something that I can share. There's different ways to download your marketing assets. So you can promote your office. And of course, I like to say it's, I'm in this office. So this, even if I haven't had any sales, nobody needs to know that. They can just know that, I work in Towson and we're ranked number one. Don't you want to work with an agent in the number one ranked office in this area? Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? So here you can get the graph. Excuse me, for those who like to promote themselves on Boost by HomeSpotter or HomeSpotter Boost, depending on how you want to say it. There is the option to get the ad itself that you can download and then go to HomeSpotter Boost, upload that, run your ad. But here we have the social image. I'm just a fan of saying that we're number one. I usually don't like to share anything that has all the other office names on it. That's just my own personal preference. You can do that. You'll see if we click on that. We have the option of doing the wide version. That might be the best for Twitter. If we want to do a tall version, maybe we're going to do a story, or the square version, which is generally Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if we click on that, you'll see that will pop up. Yours should say Realty on it. Unfortunately, mine does not because I'm an employee. But yours should say Realty to keep you in compliance with, if you're in Maryland, real estate law. I believe Virginia and DC are very similar as well. So here you can see that we're ranked number one. The latest numbers say it all, and we can show this information. Now, maybe I don't want to show all of those other offices. There is an option here to get the social image for just stating that we are number one in Towson, Maryland. I can post something and say, hey, we were number one, in the second quarter for most units sold. So I definitely want to put some of the information out. I don't just want to say, hey, we're number one, because we're not number one in all things. So I always want to be ethical and honest. And here it will give you the info bubble. Which format should I use? So here it is letting you know, Facebook, it does recommend the flat version as well, or the wide version. Instagram requires the square resolution, and then the story is the tall resolution. I'll be honest, I use the square one for Instagram and for Facebook, and it's always worked just fine. Especially if you're like me, I like to download. When I go to share on social media, I like to save this, and I like to post what I do scheduling through Facebook Business Manager. My business Instagram is connected. So that helps me to schedule my Instagram, because I do not have time during the day to get on Instagram all day long and have all the social media fun. That would be wonderful, but ain't nobody got time for that. And I know when you guys are busy and you're out there showing homes and dealing with your clients and, scheduling all the appointments and the inspections and filling out all the paperwork, and you guys have things to do that's not marketing related as well. So it definitely helps you to be more efficient with your time. So if I wanted to do that, I will also show you how that works. So I would be remiss if I showed you how to get all of this stuff, but not show you how to share it as well. So let's say I do want to get this square version. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Mine opens everything up in Paint. So now I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to save it to brand serve just so I know where to find it. And I'm going to say number one Towson Q2. That way I can find it later when I need it. So now I've saved it to my computer. The only wrong way to save it is if you can't find it later. So here we can see leading office by total units for Q2 of 2021. So then I want to go to my Facebook business page. So I'm going to go ahead and log into Facebook. I'm going to go into pages. I'm going to find my Coldwell Banker page. Now I can go through and I can create the post right now and I can add it to Facebook, but then I'm going to have to find a way, probably on my phone, to pull it up on my phone, save it, and then share it to Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead over here to Publishing Tools. And I am going to share to both at the same time. So I can go to my scheduled posts. I can go in and create a new post. And it's going to ask me, when would I like to share this? So you'll see I can only share it, obviously, for a time in the future. And it usually makes me choose something that's at least 20 minutes in the future. So right now it's 11:14. So if I say I want to share it at 11:14 a.m., it's going to say no. I have to schedule at least 20 minutes and up to 75 days in advance. So remember that when you're looking for those brand serve holiday images, you can share those in the future. So if I go ahead and put 11:34, it's going to allow that. I'm going to add my photo. I'm going to go ahead into brand serve. I'm going to scroll down and look for that number one ranked in Towson, Maryland. And again, that was the leading office by total units for Q2. Proud to work in the number one office for, and again, it was total units, or maybe I'll say the leading office for total units, second quarter of 2021. Who do you know that wants to buy or sell a home? So my little tagline is usually, let's get moving. Let's get moving. So I always like to insert my little tagline in there. You guys can put in all the hashtags and all the things if you want to. But you'll see here it's going to share the placement of the particular post will be both on my Angie Myers, Marketing Specialist with Coldwell Banker Realty business page, as well as my Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Angie Loves Real Estate. Excuse me. So that is what's going to populate. So over here, you'll see it will fetch a preview. This is the desktop news feed. I can also see what it's going to look like on the mobile news feed. I'll make that a little smaller. So here I can see what that's going to look like. And then I can also see what it's going to look like on Instagram. So it gives you that opportunity to see how people are going to view it. And we know most people are probably going to see that on their mobile device. So it gives me the opportunity to see exactly how that's going to appear. And then I can just hit this schedule post button and it's going to put it in my queue. Now, I will tell you, if you use it in this regard, you'll see that it's going to put it in my queue twice. It's going to put it in my queue for Instagram and for Facebook. So if you guys are looking for a way to schedule things on your Instagram, this is how you do it. So definitely a great way to push something out on social media. It gives you that extra information. And again, sometimes it does take a little finagling to get in here and see if the location that you are working in is number one. We're not always going to be number one. That's okay. But if it's an area that you buy in, if it's an area that you sell in, you know, as long as it's not that office there, if we're looking for, again, a brokerage and we're number one in a specific area, we can always use that. I'm trying to think of places that we're usually number one in the area. And again, sometimes it's a little, oh, here we go. Manchester is always on here. So you don't have to be a part of the office located near this area. This would be Carroll County Regional Office. They just moved to Eldersburg. You don't have to be a part of that particular office. If you are an agent who is familiar with Manchester, if you buy and sell in Manchester, if you would be willing to buy and sell in Manchester, if you're familiar with that particular area, you can share this information. Again, you can see items per page is 12. So I'm going to go with 24 just because there's 14 of them. And you can see there are a lot of different stats that we can share. So total units, things of that nature. When I share that I am number one in this area, I can share that we are number one for total units, for total volume, for, you know, buying side units, anything that you want to include that's on any of these, you can include that. So again, we can go in, we can open that up. We can see that we are smacking the competition. And again, I can use the graph with all of the other offices. I like to use just the one that says that we are number one. And then again, select that and I can say, you know, for, you know, this was for last year. So of course, we always want to make sure that we're sharing the data correctly and honestly. But here, you know, again, it'll give you all of that information. We can go back to the dashboard. So I did that a little bit quickly, but you'll find that up here on the left-hand side. I can click on my dashboard to get back to the main screen. I would also be remiss if I didn't let you know there is a chat feature here. If you have a question as you're using the product, as you're using the tool, you can always chat with someone live. You can ask, trust me, no question that you ever ask, I'm sure they've heard it before. So don't be embarrassed to ask any questions that you may have. We also have market position. So we can go in and create a market position report. Again, we may not always want to share these, but to see, you know, what we're doing, maybe we want to include everything. Maybe I want last quarter by brokerage. I can update that by adding all of the different property types, because I know we live in Maryland. There are a lot of land lots and farms and things of that nature. So we might have volume, we may have units. So we can go through and look at the units. We can see maybe year to date. Update that. We can maybe see a custom range, maybe last quarter. And again, these are things that we can use if they are where we want them to be. And we can also look for specific areas. So again, if we were to choose Manchester, I'm going to choose the one in Maryland. That's the one that I want. And I can update. And here you'll see that we're number one in Manchester, leading brokerage by units. And this is where we're going to get some more data here. Units sold, the list side, the buy side, the total unit percentage share, volume sold, volume percentage share. Do I want to show as percentage? Do I not want to show as percentage to get that data here? So you'll see I can do that as per units or as the percentage there. And again, this is something that I can share on social media. You can take this information and plug it into a brand serve tile, a market update tile. But in a minute, I'm going to show you how to bypass that and share it directly as a snapshot. So this is another where you can go through and export. Do I want to do a landscape version? Do I want to do a portrait version? And whichever you select, when you pull that up, it's going to show this. So this might be something that I want to put in and I want to add to my Moxie presentation. So I have a listing agreement, you know, that I'm trying to get signed. I have that presentation coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my presentation. Let these potential sellers know, or I should say my future sellers know in Manchester, that we are ranked #1. They definitely want to list with me. We are the #1 in that area. And again, we can also do percentages. If you want to share that information, you can. And then again, landscape, you'll see that looks just a little bit different. But again, you can use that percentage if you would like to. Just showing that we are #1. And again, you can finagle this in a sense by taking out some information, adding some information for property type. Maybe I only want list side or buy side or volume, whatever information it is that you are looking for. And anytime you see the info bubble, if you hover over it, for example, this one says you can filter the data by locations by adding them via the search or the location filter below. So it's going to let you know how exactly to filter that information. And just as a reminder, if you've come into the workshop, if you could go ahead and mute yourself, that way we don't have any feedback on our recording. I greatly appreciate it. Here we have, again, our dashboard. If we want to go back to the dashboard, we can see here market trends. So we can create a report for the market trends as well. Again, completely up to you, the property types that you want to include. Maybe I don't want to include commercial. Maybe I don't want to include the mobile homes. But again, that's completely up to you. And you can see here market trends, average list price, things of that nature. So maybe I want to look for, I'll go ahead and look at Joppa. So I can look at Joppa, I can update that, and now I can see the average list price. I can see if that's going up, is that going down, you know, the inventory, things of that nature, the average and median sales price. And again, you'll see that some of this information is similar to what you're going to get on Prospect Square. This one updates a little sooner than Prospect Square. So you will see some of the data. Prospect Square updates on the 5th of every month. And pardon me, just one moment. I'm going to go in and make sure that everyone is muted. All right, sorry about that. There we go. And you'll see average days on the market, you know, sales per price per square foot, inventory, things of that nature. Guys, this gets me to the point where I know this market better than anyone else. My friends like to quiz me. They call me the real estate queen. Some of them, because they'll be like, how many houses are for sale right now in Joppa? And that's my area. So I know that area well. I may not know all of the areas that I serve, but that's my predominant farming market if I were to buy and sell real estate and not be a referral agent. But here you'll be able to see all of that information. You're able to share that. So here you'll see, do I want to show all of the sections or just certain sections? So maybe I want to do an overview, average and median sales price, list price ratio. Again, I can determine what I want to share. Maybe I don't want to share the inventory and the MSI. Maybe I don't want to share the average sales per square foot, that price. We don't, you know, landscape or portrait version. And again, I can export that. I can share that information. This is something that I can add to my Moxie presentation. So you can see the date range, all of the information is present here. For the location, it's got my information on it, kind of. my property type, and just make sure that all of your information is correct here. You know, single property, townhome, any top property type that I included, the date range and the price range. And then as we scroll down, you're going to see this information packaged a little differently than Prospect Square. And again, I can get this information before the 5th of the month. So here it's going to break all of that information down for me. And again, I can save this to my computer. I can upload this and include it in a Moxie presentation. Wow my sellers that I have this information. And probably the biggest thing that I always like to remind everyone, people don't know that you have a system for this. I don't tell them that. I like them to think that I spent hours putting this data together. I had to research it. I had to get this information. And you'll see this is where that photo that I chose on the first page, that photo does appear there. But this is something that I can share. If I'm walking a neighborhood, maybe I want to share it with the neighbors. Anytime you see those community yard sales, that is a fantastic time to walk a neighborhood. People are outside, they're already there and easily accessible. So that is where you can get to all of your market trends. And then I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I really do enjoy this market snapshot. Those that know me know that I absolutely love Prospect Square. I love the reports. I love how easy they are to send out to a client to update once you learn the system. And I was taking the information from the report, going to BrandServe, creating that market update. And I still do like to do that from time to time just to have something different that I'm sharing on social media. But here I can go in and create a market snapshot with all of that information in just a few clicks. So here, let's say we want to do the Frederick area. I want to include single family, townhome, condominium. Maybe I want to include the farms, but that's all I want to include. Time period, I'm going to go ahead and leave August. We know September is not quite done yet, and I don't really have a price range in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and update this information. Now you'll see yours will have realty on there. I'm an employee with the company, so that's why mine only says Coldwell Banker. But you're going to see it's going to have your market snapshot for that particular area for August 2021. I can see the number of properties sold, average days on the market, average sales price. Again, that list to price ratio, we can see it's actually trending down, even though people are getting more for their home. We can see that the market in certain areas is starting to even out. Excuse me. Also, average sales per the price per square footage. We don't really do that too much in our area, but it's there for us. And again, we can share that snapshot. We can email that to someone if we would like to, or download that if we want to send out postcards to an area. You're able to download the postcard format. Very easy to go into InTouch or Express Docs and create those custom postcards. Your field marketing specialist is around to help you do something of that nature. And also the wide, the tall, the square. Again, I tend to default to square because I share that on both Facebook and on Instagram. It does work well for both, and I'm able to, again, share that as long as I can save that somewhere where I know how to find it. I can then go to Facebook as I did earlier, and I can schedule that to come out on both Instagram and Facebook, or if I want to go share that live, I can do that. Again, I can also choose the tall feature if I want to do a story. That is available to me as well. So there's the story feature. It's got your disclaimer on there. It does let people know that this is based on data from Bright MLS. So it's for the property type, the single family, the townhome, the condominium, the lot, the land, the farm, you know, in the price range of 0 to a whole lot, in the period of May 2021 through August 2021. So it's letting them know it's 3 months average and it's deemed reliable, but of course it's never guaranteed. Why? Because I could pull this same snapshot later on and it make data changes all the time. We know how that works. So I can take that off. If I took off the landlot farm, we could update that and we might see the information change. So here you'll see the information changed a little bit. Maybe I don't want any condominiums. I could update it again. You'll see again the data is going to change slightly. So definitely, and again, it'll let them know what that information is. You can share these snapshots directly again on Instagram. They also do fit on LinkedIn, which seems to be the forgotten social media. You can share them on Twitter. You can share them on Facebook. I would probably do the wide version for Twitter, just because it's a little more friendly. And again, yours will say realty just to keep you in compliance there. But a great snapshot. These work well on Facebook and actually Instagram. You could share these on Instagram as well. But again, you can go in, email that to yourself, email that to a client if you would like, add another recipient. You can do that there and send away. And the email was sent successfully. So those are all of the features of MarketQuest. You also do have up in the right-hand top corner some settings for your profile. So again, here you will see that default image. You can go in and easily change that. You should have more images in your gallery than I do. The most wonderful feature of giving feedback. So I will tell you, I am a part of the group that does go over feedback. We go over it frequently. That's why a lot of the changes have been made in this particular tool to make the interface easier to use, to make it user friendly. We've taken a lot of that agent feedback and we've incorporated it into this tool. So please know that you do have a voice when it comes to the tools that you use here at Coldwell Banker. Although it sounds really super cheesy for me to say that, we really do look at user feedback and try to configure things so they work out in the field and they're easier for you to use. Because again, the goal is that you're selling more houses, you're making more money, but you're also working more efficiently. And of course, the wonderful bubble at the top with the question mark, that's going to take you into the help desk. So you'll see we do have a help center here. On desk, when you do click on that, it's going to take you into all of the different tools help centers. We do have a welcome here. It's going to let you know what this is for. Again, we know we want to impress people and attract those potential clients, to promote your brand, inform your clients of the new trends via social media, and access all of the MLS data and generate branded reports all in one place, to make it a little more effortless on your part to be able to go in and access this data and have additional content to share on social media. So you'll see anything that is on the roadmap, on their radar. There are training resources here as well. So training dates, additional training dates and links, a quick start guide for your #1 claims, market position quick start guide, training recordings, social media resources, etc., and additional facts about MarketQuest V2. So you can go through and kind of, again, review. My thing is, if I don't use it, I lose it. So maybe you attend today and then you don't use this for a little while. You don't get to it like you think you will, and then you can't remember. All of the information is in here for you. And a lot of times those questions are answered here. So sometimes you'll see, why is market position data restricted? We're not allowed to display market share data that's not been publicly released. So it will tell you sometimes we have to wait until that's been publicly released to share it. So V1, you may still have that, but V2, they're working on getting all of those So they did retire V1 for most people. I believe I can still access it. But you'll see all of the different, I don't know why I would need that. But again, you can visit the help center if you need any additional help for that as well. So as we go through, again, there's breadcrumbs up here. We can go back to where we were if you need support, those kind of things. But again, quick start guide is in here. You can click on that and that's going to pop up and it's going to give you a 3-page step-by-step with screenshots on how to get to your number one claims. It's also going to show you when you go into training and resources, again, market position, quick start guide will do the same. We'll give you kind of a snapshot there, how to select your default MLS. Bright MLS should come up. Again, if it doesn't, reach out to your FMS. We're here to help. Your report navigation, your filter options, all the things that we went over. And then it will give you the stats and again, how to export your report and all of the data that you need. So all that information is here again for you in the help center in the background if you need it. But again, it's here to help give you content to boast about yourself, boast about your office, boast about your company, and really promote yourself and show people that you are the market expert. You are the one that knows more about that particular area than any other agent. And that really does give you a huge benefit when it comes to listing a property. You will automatically, after doing a CMA, know the correct price point for that property. You can see the data where the trends are going. You know, if you have someone that says, hey, I'm on the fence, you know, I really want to sell my house, but maybe I'm going to wait for 2 months. And you're able to say, look, I appreciate that you want to wait, but the trends are actually going down. Your house is probably worth more right now than it will be 2 months from now, just looking at the trends for the last few months. That might be a good time to throw out Real Vitalize. You know, if they're looking to make some upgrades to the house before they sell it, they can do that with no money up front, no lien on the house, you know, no interest, no markups, those things. So that does give you an added advantage as well. And of course, giving you social media content, because who doesn't need more social media content? Just a great way. And I always do suggest as well to have a social media strategy. Maybe it's the second Monday of every month and I'm going to post a market position report. Or it's the third Thursday of the month and I'm going to post a market snapshot for X area. And maybe this day of the month, I'm going to post a market snapshot for this area. So having a little more of a strategy, being consistent, people know that they can reach out to you, that you do know the areas very well that you serve. And again, we can take this information, we can put it on our website. But I do caution you, if you do that, just to make sure that you're active on your website. We don't want to leave something there from April or May. We want to make sure that we are updating it. So with that, that's really all I have for you at this time. Does anyone have any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask away, or if you feel more comfortable, type in the chat. Okay. Well, I am going to give you back 19 minutes of your day. You can start lunch, take a brief nap, walk the dog, call a client, schedule appointments, all the fun things. But if there aren't any questions, you can always reach out to your field marketing specialist. We are here to help you. It is our goal and our job that you make more money, that you sell more houses, but that we're helping you work more efficiently again, so you can sneak in that nap or that dog walk or anything that you need. Again, have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, Angie.
Thanks, Angie.